Hello everybody, welcome to the MaffmanJones movie channel. I'm your host John Maffio. Before I get started, I really just want to thank everybody again for watching the Next Generation Film Awards, everybody who tuned in, the show that was hosted by me and Austin Putnam. We assembled so many great presenters and it was a great show, 2 hours of crazy film award goodness, and everybody who watched, every single individual person who watched, thank you. And I haven't done a review in a while, but I'm glad I could finally return for Avengers Infinity War, which is a culmination of 10 years of Marvel movies. Over 15, there's like 18 or 19 Marvel movies, including this one, since 2008 with Iron Man. It works. It's a 2.5 hour movie that I was at times checking my phone for the time because I didn't want it to end. The pacing of everything really works. The way scenes transition from characters to characters really works. And I mean, before I have to really explain the story for anybody who hasn't been familiar with Marvel Studios. Again, it's a culmination of 10 years of superhero movies that started with Iron Man. And this movie is the movie about the Mad Titan, Thanos, a character who's been building up for a while, since 2012 with the first Avengers. And he's on a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones so that he could restore balance to the galaxy. And it's up to our Avenger friends to stop him before he snaps his fingers and everything goes to shit. It could have been very easy for a movie like this to fail, but we have such filmmakers and producers, actors, people involved with these movies that care that much that they want to make this right for fans and for casual audiences, people who want to experience something that they've never experienced before at the movies. And this, as an adult, I guess I'm at the age now where I really am an adult now. I kind of am finding it hard to process, even though I could see where they're going in a way with the story and how they're going to resolve things, because they have to resolve things the way this movie goes. For any kids watching this movie, they're going to be 10 times more devastated than adults, possibly. And how do you explain to your kids this movie? How do you explain that to them when they're asking you these questions like, what happened? If I was a father right now, I'd be like, I don't know. We'll find out next May, son, daughter. This movie hits you in the heart. If you have not felt the emotional stakes of the Avengers or any of these characters for the past 10 movies, you will now. If you don't know me, I will not spoil anything because I believe in the movie-going experience and experiencing these emotions that you're going to feel and never forget for especially movies like this. But the opening of this movie lets you know right away that business has to be dealt with, and it creates a sense of dread and a sense of intensity. It never really lets up for the entire movie. It keeps you on edge. You do get your moments with characters, you do get your big action sequences, you do get the big flair, all the humor, everything you expect from Marvel, but this really is the story of Thanos, Josh Brolin, who does a tremendous job with motion capture, creating this character that you really do, in a way, feel sympathetic for. At a point, I was surprised in the storytelling of how I was watching this, and I was like, I'm buying into this character way more than I thought I would be. There are so many twists and turns where I was completely shocked in where things were going and how characters were interacting, certain characters that came together, certain ways that the action sequences were being fulfilled. I didn't know what was going to happen, and by the end of the movie, you're just kind of sitting there shell-shocked, and I had to look around at my audience while the credits were rolling, while we were waiting for the after-credits scene, which is important, one of the most important, relevant ones that you'll have to see, you need to say for it. But I looked around because I knew I didn't want to forget this, and I wanted to see how everybody else was looking in the moment, because it was a sold-out crowd, and a lot of people were just kind of, they had groups of people with them, but they were just kind of sitting there stunned. Like, just kind of watching and waiting for, like, something. People just sitting there doe-eyed like a deer in headlights. And it doesn't really happen that often in movies. It has happened before. It's not like it's never happened before in the history of movies. But it's been a while since this particular feeling has been ruptured in a movie theater. For me, at least. And no matter how the story is resolved in Avengers 4, what we're feeling right now, all of us who have seen Avengers Infinity War and care, this next year is something that we're really going to keep with us forever. Going back to the filmmaking process of Infinity War, the Russo brothers did such a commendable job of taking this entire roster of characters that they have here and making everything flow naturally from scene to scene. We have multiple characters that are in multiple places and locations, but everything seems to transition smoothly. That all leads to a really big third act where the whole movie feels like a giant third act, kind of like Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, where it's just, yeah, you've seen the whole story being fulfilled over these last few movies. Now, watch everything go down. And there's no time to breathe, so we're just going to keep going and moving and moving and moving. It's like a freight train that never stops. But we do get little character moments occasionally where the movie does slow down, and we do get a lot of humor, but it doesn't take away from the dramatic moments too. If you've seen all the other movies before, you will definitely feel the weight of a lot of these moments. But I think the Russo brothers do a really good job of making these emotional moments feel natural to the story that they're telling in this particular movie, and having it revolve around Thanos. Whew. Avengers Infinity War is a feat. It is an accomplishment. It feels like it should have been impossible for something like this to work, but it works so well. I guess you could argue that if you're walking into this movie without any knowledge of prior MCU movies, then this is going to be one giant tumultuous third act that just keeps going and going, and you may not really feel the experience because you have no investment. And having said that, if you don't really have investment in these movies, this may not have an impact on you. And I guess that's a criticism, but as a movie, it's really well made. And I think even if you're not a fan of these movies, you come out of this feeling a sense of dread, and you also know and also feel for the villain. Out of all the characters in this movie, if you've never seen a Marvel movie, you will walk out of this understanding Thanos. But you have everything that you want in a Marvel movie here. You have your humor that's balanced well with the action, that's balanced well with a story that actually works and brings stakes finally. At some point, it's going to feel like you fell under the rubble and you can't get out. It's going to be easy to speculate how things are going to be resolved, but you will emotionally be affected by this movie in one way or another. I can't sit here and give it a perfect score, but this is one of the most enthusiastic, darn good movie scores I can give a movie. It's 4 out of 5 for me. This is a movie that I will never forget my theater experience for. No matter how you feel about Infinity War from a technical perspective, I think it's undeniable that this movie will make you feel something. And I think the most important movies that have been made since the dawn of cinema are the movies that make you feel. And now, I want to know from all you boys and girls, what do you think of Avengers Infinity War? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're going to spoil something, just put tags, please. Say something before, because a lot of people are not seeing this movie for a few more days or even next week. So let's keep this spoiler free because we have a whole year to discuss this. Let's be fair to people who aren't seeing this movie. But how does this rank for you on the entire roster of movies that have come out since 2008? This is up there for me because it's not the best overall movie, but as a culmination, it just hits every level. If you enjoy this review also, please like, ring that bell so you'll never not see a video from me ever again when you subscribe, which subscribe and bell, both of those things. Apparently the bell is important. That's what I learned. Also check out my social medias and my Stardust, where I did a little 30-second review where I just kind of like sat there heartbroken and on the verge of like a single tear. It was interesting. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones. Have a great weekend. It's Avengers time. Go to your theater with your family, with your friends, with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever, and just experience something with a bunch of other people that you will never forget. See you guys next time.